They sent me a series of threats that was so serious that law enforcement got involved, and I actually fled my home for several days. This is costing people's lives.
The topic of discussion today is Gamergate.
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 Gamergate was the harbinger of kind of the culture wars we're seeing every single day.
Between sci-fi blockbusters and billion-dollar video games, nerd culture has exploded out of the basement. And thanks to social media, the barriers between culture and fandom have shattered. This can lead to a deeper connection with the content we consume, but it comes with a cost. As the internet brought diverse new fans to the boys' club of nerddom, a reactionary movement arose to keep women and marginalized people away from their fan communities. This online culture war has caught real people in the crossfire. What is fueling this misogynistic nerd rage? Why are they targeting marginalized creators with organized harassment campaigns? And what kind of damage have they done? Gamergate is just one symptom of a larger trend that's tearing online communities apart. And to understand Gamergate, you need to understand how fan culture turned toxic.
Fandom, like any group setting with a bunch of people, is going to have a dark side. It's human nature to sort of gang up on people and attack them.
Thanks to the internet and the breakout success of Marvel's cinematic universe, the overwhelmingly male world of nerd culture suddenly belonged to everyone. Most fans embraced the new wave of women, queer, and otherwise marginalized members in their communities, but a vocal minority chose to gatekeep their geekery instead. It goes without saying that women are integral to science fiction, since the day 20-year-old Mary Shelley invented the genre with Frankenstein. But 200 years later, thousands of angry fans have suddenly decided that they didn't belong, not even the biggest franchise of them all, Star Wars. The backlash began in 1999 with the release of Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Fans wasted no time mocking their targets, particularly Ahmed Best, the black actor who portrayed Jar Jar Binks. The actor endured decades of derision from fans during the early days of the internet. The attacks on Ahmed were so severe that it nearly drove him to take his own life.
I was really just crumbling inside.
There's a sense of ownership by a very small group of people where they were the star of the show back in 1977 when Star Wars first came out. You see both the minimization of the importance of that story for other people, and you also see like this endless harassing of the people that are telling that story.
No lessons were learned by the time of the Star Wars sequel trilogy in 2015. When the first trailers revealed that the main characters would be Rey, a capable young woman, and Finn, a black ex-stormtrooper, most fans were excited about the potential brought by a cast of new faces. But a vocal contingent went on the attack immediately, decrying the forced diversity of the new trilogy.
Almost 40 years, we've taken one kind of person and made them the center of the world and catered to their every single whim and not really represented other people. So as we're having, societal change where we're showing other kinds of people as the heroes, there are a lot of people that generally, they feel like something has been stolen from them.
They directed their anger at Kelly Marie Tran, the first woman of color to hold a major on-screen role in the Star Wars franchise.
A lot of fans who kind of had racist and sexist inclinations were able to band together and drive her off social media platforms.
From Ghostbusters' Leslie Jones to Captain Marvel's Brie Larson, fans are using social media to attack the actors who dared to be women in beloved sci-fi franchises, using tactics they learned from the most devastating online hate campaign in history, Gamergate.
It's been a big year for esports.
60% of teenagers play video games. They're playing on average 3.5 hours per day.
Esports is real. It's a billion-dollar industry. 200 million people are watching other people play video games.
Video games are big business. And just like with comics and sci-fi, it's not just for guys anymore.
They're damsels in distress.
I'm saving the princess. Am I supposed to let the princess die? Is that what you want? That's kind of harsh. That's kind of hostile.
Well, maybe the princess shouldn't be a damsel and she could save herself.
If you look at the original Nintendo Entertainment System, there are a shockingly few number of games where you can even play as a woman. We kind of have this stereotype about games being for teenage boys. It's just not true today.
Women make up 46% of people who play video games, and within the male-dominated industry, women and LGBTQ+ developers are fighting to make the industry more inclusive. Tensions in the gaming community boiled until they exploded in August of 2014.
What happened during Gamergate is you saw a lot of factions of different types of game consumers band together, sometimes in really toxic and abusive ways, against people that were perceived as destroying the gaming culture. Because of that, you had a lot of people who staunchly believed in the Gamergate movement, as it was called, coming together to harass and attack.
So from the beginning, Gamergate supporters have claimed that this is about journalistic ethics and about supposed corruption in the gaming industry, but it has originated as, and it's continued to be, about sort of undermining women in the gaming industry.
This was the spark that ignited a coordinated movement to attack marginalized developers, activists, and journalists in the gaming industry under the dubious guise of ethics in games journalism. Gamergate organized on the same underground message boards that would later lead to the QAnon cult. They sent their fans to attack developers like Zoe Quinn, Brianna Wu, and others like them.
I realized that the game industry press wasn't going to cover what was happening to women. So when the New York Times and the Boston Globe asked what was happening, I spoke out and I told them the truth. As a result of this, I had an unbelievable level of harassment sent my way. Just the most horrible, damaging, direct death threats you can imagine, with my name, my address, everything. It traumatized me so badly, I can quote it to this day. Guess what, bitch? I know where you and Frank live. They listed my address. If you have any children, we're going to murder them too. There are some people that think these are just words on the internet. It's not. It has real consequences to real people.
Careers were shattered and lives were ruined, but the impact online was even larger. And it was only a matter of time before it spread beyond pop culture.
In the early stages, there was a lot of weight given to both sides of the issue. This idea that the gaming community was changing and a traditional gamer was disappearing, which made a lot of people who considered themselves traditional gamers really angry. What we can kind of learn from the harassment that they endured is that we have to be careful about which people that we empower in sort of this both sides debate.
How can fans discuss the movies they like and the games they play without being harassed or threatened? How can we make it safe to be online?
We need people from technology, pushing privacy policy, pushing cybersecurity, all those things to keep people safe.
Fighting online harassment begins with better oversight of online communities. Abuse against women is rampant on social media, especially women of color. But moderators cost money, and platforms are only so willing to police themselves. There's not much the government can do to help either, thanks to the First Amendment speech protections. Congress can't stop harassment where it starts, but they can address when bullying turns into threats. Proposed bills like the Prioritizing Online Threat Enforcement Act have been unable to gain traction. And given the age of your average legislator, it's not surprising that they have little experience with the devastation of online harassment.
You don't want to restrict anybody's freedoms, and you don't want to over-moderate spaces to the point where you are repressing free thought and free expression. But there is a clear and present danger that has been shown time and time again in extremism online.
In 2016 and 2020, Brianna Wu ran for Congress, and she'll keep running until things finally change.
The reason I decided to run for Congress is that I wanted to throw my voice into the mix. I wanted to do what I could to try to make a difference. This is not the first time mankind has struggled with a new technology and fitting into a policy that works for society. It's time to think about this for the internet. We can make this better.
Movies and games have a meaningful impact on our lives. We form entire communities online just to share our experiences and excitement. But in the algorithmic echo chambers of today's internet, all it takes to turn fandom into a frenzy is a little bad influence.